Welcome to the Learning Lab. My name is Roman Garcia. Today's topic is going to be introducing you to a new system that we call the multi-spectrum type 1 system. It's designed to stimulate the whole body. But before we get into that, I just want to review some of the physics behind light therapy and how it affects the human body. Now, as we explained in our last video, we know that the human body responds to particular spectrums of light. Now, what we've been able to do is we've captured those spectrums emitted from the sun and concentrated it on one system that you can use to improve just general health. But before I show you the system, I just want to review some of the physics behind light therapy. Now, we already know that the light that's shined by the sun is emitted by using several different spectrums of light combined into the light that you see when you go outdoors when the sun is shining. Now, we know that the sun emits in these individual spectrums, all combined to produce the white light produced from the sun. Now, we know that the sun produces in red, yellow, green, blue, and these violet, purplish colors. Now, I've got a simpler diagram here to illustrate that fact, and probably a little bit easier to comprehend. Now, this is the sun. Like I said earlier, we know that the sun emits in individual spectrums of light. It emits in red, in blue, in yellow, in green, in violet, and orange. Now, the interesting thing is that the human body responds best to just two of these light spectrums. It responds best to the red and to the blue. Now, we got examples of how why the body responds best to these particular spectrums. We discussed in one of the earlier volumes that just the nature of the color of blood itself is factual to the fact that the human body absorbs the red spectrum, or else blood would not be red when you see it. It would have been another color. So the red spectrum is an energy that the human body absorbs and refracts. Another one is the blue spectrum. Now, and the reason that the blue is one of those, and the evidence that the blue is one of those spectrums that the body is able to absorb and refract, is due to the fact that seawater and blood have very similar electrolyte content. They are very similar, blood and seawater. Seawater's electrolyte content is sodium, potassium, sulfate, magnesium, and calcium. This is what makes up the electrolyte content of seawater. Now, curiously enough, if you look at blood and you do a chemistry profile on it, the electrolyte content of blood is sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, bicarbonate, and a little bit of phosphorus. Now, the interesting fact of the similarities between both of these is reflected in the fact that when you see an ocean, you see the sea, it's blue. Now, it's blue because of the same reasons that blood is red. Seawater refracts and seawater absorbs the blue spectrum as it comes off the sun. Now, what I want to show you now is I want to show you the machine and what it does. But what it does is this. This is what it does. These are the biological effects of being exposed to the red and the blue spectrum only. Now, you can go out into the sun and you can lay out in the sun for 2-3 hours and absorb that red and blue spectrum, but the problem with being exposed to the sun in order to absorb the red and the blue spectrum is that you will also be exposed to the ultraviolet components of the sun itself. And we all know that you cannot be exposed to ultraviolet radiation for long periods of time on an everyday basis because it does produce skin tumors, melanomas basically. We're transmitting here from the sun, and we have very high rates of melanomas here in South Florida because unfortunately it's hard to escape the sun down here in South Florida. But for those folks who live in the northern latitudes, exposures to the sun is not, it's kind of like a scarce because the sun, especially in the winter and the falls, doesn't shine for too long every single day. But even in the south, we have the problem of being exposed to the ultraviolet radiation. So our design team thought of designing a system that only emits the two energy spectrums that has the most positive effects on the human body. And I'm going to show it to you now. But before that, we're going to come over here. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to introduce again my assistant, Anna. And the interesting thing is that we've been doing these videos now for about 2 years. And I've never given the opportunity of Anna to introduce herself to the public. So here, I want to give Anna the chance to introduce herself to the public and a little bit about her history.
Hola, mi nombre es Ana Molina. Conozco a Ramón hace 9 años, fui paciente de él hace 8 años, me trató un problema de rodilla que hoy en día me siento mejor. Y él me presentó un programa de hacer video y acepté, dije que sí, que lo podía apoyar en todo. Estoy muy contenta con él.
Yeah, I just wanted to give her the chance to introduce herself. I'm not able to do these videos without her, so I appreciate her contribution to our videos. Again, our objective is always to educate, because in the end, education, information, and knowing what to do with it is the primary tool that you have at your disposal to create a healthy life for yourself. So that's basically our objective of all these videos. But let me show you first our system. Again, this is what we call this the multi-spectrum type 1. As you can see, it's emitting the red and the blue spectrum. Now, the unique thing about this system is the lid itself. This lid is designed to concentrate the particular spectrum that it's emitting only in that wavelength. Other systems that I've seen out there, the spectrum is contaminated with the greens, the yellows, and the oranges. These, because of the lid and the way that it's able to compress the energy spectrum, only emits in the color that you're seeing. And I'm going to show you that right now. Now, if you allow me, now, look at this, how interesting. This is the blue right here. You can see this is the spectrum right here of the blue and the red right here side by side. You can see the color, the red color on the left, the blue color on the right. This is the actual spectrum that it is emitting. You can see it's pure red, pure blue. There's no orange, there's no green, there's no yellow, there's no violet. And that is because of that lid. It's a specially designed lid that just focuses the spectrum. You are only receiving a red and the blue. There's no contamination here as you would with the other systems out there. Now, this is how I use my system. I'm going to turn off the light in a little while, but you can see it's easily mobile. It's really a professional system, but it could be used in the home. You just got to find space for it. Now, I don't recommend that you use it every day. I don't use it every day. I use it once a week. And I only use it for 20-minute time periods. That's how much I use it for. It's just 20 minutes. It's just a 20-minute time period. Now, again, by using this system, you're improving your mood, you're improving your concentration, you're improving your focus, you're improving your energy level. I've been using this system now for about 6 months. We've had a few folks that have it in their homes. And the feedback that they get is very consistent. After you get off doing this procedure, at home or in an office setting, as a therapeutic technique, you will feel an immense sense of increased energy and concentration. Basically, your focus will be increased by multitudes of degrees. Now, this is how you use it. You lay. I've seen other systems where it's a tabletop that you sit. The problem with sitting is that it's not a very comfortable position, even for 30 minutes or 40-minute sessions. The ideal position is laying down. That's why we design our system in a manner where the functionality is best when the individual is sitting. You can be sitting on your sofa. You can be sitting laying on your sofa or laying on your bed. But laying down is the ideal position. You want to be very comfortable. Now, I recommend that comfort is the key. You can put a pillow underneath your knee, and that's fine. But the important thing is that you're comfortable. We created it so you have about a 40-inch, or maybe a 30-inch distance between the energy source and the body. You can see how Anna's body is illuminating here. Right now, she's receiving the red and the blue spectrum. You can see it. You can see how it's emitting. Now, we designed these where you can move them in space. Obviously, bodies come in very different sizes and shapes. This is specific for Anna. But you can move, you can move these heads really in any direction. In any direction. The important thing is that the energy is being focused on the body. Now, I recommend that you don't do it every day. In biology, more is never better. It's just like medicine. A little dosaging is medicinal. Too much dosaging is a poison. Now, you can use this every day. There's no harm to it because each energy source is emitting in the 3 joule range. So the energy is not extraordinary. It's very low energy. But the energy is the light itself. Your cells of the human body, your brain, your stem cell, your kidney, every organ is absorbing this energy. Especially the cerebral area. This is why psychologically being exposed to these types of energy spectrum is so effective, especially on the mood, on the concentration, on your energy level. I do this myself, and I recommend that it's done just once a week. It can be done more, but I recommend just once a week treatment sessions at your home or in a therapy who has a device such as this. Now, as I said, this system we created in our own factory, and we created here in the United States of America. So our manufacturing cost is less than any other manufacturer out there. So this system, relative to other systems of comparable designs and functionalities, is relatively inexpensive. We've been able to bring down the price structure, the price point of this system to $500. So it could be owned, it could be used in your home, it could be used in your office, but again, it's designed to be used as a tool to improve your overall health versus this system, which is our red spectrum mini system, which is used to help with joint pain. So you can either own both, one that works at the general level or one that works at the local level. I use each for different objectives. But again, our goal in this venture is to provide access to systems that otherwise will be almost inordinate price points where they cannot be afforded. Again, anybody that watches this video, if you have any questions, about any of our devices, if you have any questions about health, If you have any questions about anything that we've said in this video or in our past videos, feel free to give me a call, email. Our information is always underneath our videos. For anybody who's watched this video, I want to thank you, and until next time, see you soon. Thank you.